Hi folks, Doug here, Ellis Car Customs, where we're back on to Nomad content after a brief detour, picking up where we left off. Thanks for coming back, and thanks for checking me out if you're new. Hopefully you'll stick around and join the group. So yeah, where we left off, we were working on those bottom seat hinges for flipping the seat forward. So we got to get those welded up, and we'll test them in there and make sure they work before we finalize everything, because you don't want to get them into paint and then find out that they won't work. So yeah, a couple of people mentioned these pieces when we were talking about the seat back and stuff. These are the clips that my buddy John Kelly sent me. There's pegs on the seat back that go into these clips to kind of locate it and hold it up where it goes. So yeah, we do have the clips. Like I said, we're gonna have to deal with clearance issues there, but just like everything, when you're making it from scratch, you gotta break a few eggs, and God knows we've broken our share of eggs. So I'll try to get something done tonight. There's an Arctic blast coming my way. We're expecting 20 to 30 below zero where I'm at. If it gets that bad, I may not make it out to the shop for a couple of days, because it's hard to get this place livable when it's that cold outside. So if I skip a couple of days or whatever, don't worry, I didn't go anywhere. I just stayed in where it was warm. So we'll see what we can get done tonight. Thanks for coming. On with the show. So I did my first light toss of the brackets, hinges, whatever I'm building. And they're not quite right, which is why I haven't locked everything in yet and gusseted it and all that. Because it does flip forward. I tried it. But the seat edge here has to be up higher, so that when you flip it over, it winds up even with the top when the top is flipped down. So what I need to do is make these stanchions here a little taller. I was thinking that that this had to rest on the perch there, but I guess the hinge is what holds it up, and it doesn't rest on the perch here. The hinges are what holds the seat in place. So, my mistake. But you'll have that when you're fabricating something. If I always like when I'm fabricating something to have at least the scrubby old piece as a guide. If it's something that's all rotted out and you just need to make a new one, it's always great to have that rusty bit as a reference. But I didn't have that. I didn't have anything concerning these. So it's trial and error. So this has to be taller. That's why like I said, I didn't finish them and paint them and all that kind of stuff, because I'd hate to think that I had them all done only to find out I had to cut them apart. So we're going to have to, I'm going to take some measurements, and we're going to have to raise this up a little bit so that this piece isn't resting on the perch here. I guess it's got to be up a couple of inches. And it probably makes sense because the seat's sort of flat, and usually the seats kind of tilt back towards your butt. So that makes sense. So yeah, I gotta raise it up a little bit, but we'll figure it out. So this is why the GM engineers make the big bucks and why I don't charge myself anything. We're still not quite there. I mean, it's doing what it's supposed to as far as, you know, everything folding. I'll set this down. This back folds up like that, and the seat bottom folds back up in there. But believe it or not, I guess it's got to be even taller. I wouldn't have imagined it had to be that far off of the perches. But, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was this Nomad. But, and like I say, I'm not charging myself by the hour, so if you don't mind watching me struggle, I'll keep struggling. But I will get it right. I guarantee you. Because now it's starting to piss me off. So, yes, I'm going to get it right. I guess I needed to go twice as much as I did the first time. I really didn't think I had to, but that's what we're going to do. I could see, you know, I'll fold it back down. I won't make you watch. But I'll fold it back down and I'll measure the gap between where this is and where the top is when it's folded down. And that's how much more this has to come up. So that's what we'll do. So my friends, that's an evening's worth of butchery for me. The struggle was real. It's cool when things go off without a hitch the first time around, and you're like, was that luck or was that skill, or both? But I guarantee you, if I ever have to make these seat hinges again, I'll know what I need to do. I don't know if I'll keep plugging away on them or if I'll do something else next time just to have a win in my pocket, so to speak. I mean, I'd hate to give up on them, you know. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to do them. But it's like, you know, come on. It's almost like, you know, it's all those episodes I did on the tailgate there, except they were more interesting. It's like, how much can a guy struggle making a hinge? But, you know, the engineers and stuff at GM, when they came up with this stuff, they were geniuses. They were college-educated geniuses, and that's not me. But when it's done, it's going to work correctly, and we're going to be proud that we did it ourselves, and only you and I will know just how much I screwed around to finally get it right. But I want to thank you all for coming. I really appreciate the long haulers, you know, the ones who comment on every video. The Perry and Charlie and Lon and Willie and Daniel and all my friends named John and Brian and Will. And oh, one thing I wanted to mention, I think it was my last video, my buddy Don from Don's Hot Rod Shop commented, gave me some tips and information on the workings of the seat. I told him we all miss him, and well, hope he's doing okay, and hope he comes back. Because I know he hasn't put up a video in quite a while. So if you're watching, Don, everybody misses you, and they want to see you back again. So with that, I'm going to let you go. Thanks for stopping. Hope to see you on the next one.